Mostly the Mad here, and today I've got a build I'm calling the Combat Monster build, or the Drug-Fueled Combat Monster. Basically, just look into those eyes, the eyes of madness. Basically, the idea of this build, you could call it a delay build. Basically, the idea is that you buff up on the first turn and you delay, and then you do all your damage at the end of the first turn and the start of the second turn. So the build is basically just revolves around these three skills: exertion, delay, and regard. So this is a complete glass cannon build, just to do the absolute most damage that you can do, and hopefully just kill all of the enemy team before they get a chance to do anything. Basically came up with this build because we were doing some multiplayer battles last night and they kept crashing on the second or third turn. So chat suggested that I should just make a build that kills all the enemy players, all the enemy gangers on the first turn or the second turn. That way, I can finish a game. So that's the idea of this build. Basically, just kill everyone on the second turn so you can finish a multiplayer game. Excuse me. So this basic build will work with any career, with any house. But there are some advantages to doing it with Escher, and there's some advantages to doing it with Goliath. I'm not sure about Warlock, but yeah, definitely it could be really good with Goliath as well. But the good thing about doing it with Escher is this skill, Toxin Specialist. So it's cost -10 to the cost of all support consumables. So basically, to make this build really shine, what you want to do is stock up a heap of support consumables. Now what you want Slort, which is the key one. A level 5 Slort will make all of your offensive skills cost -70% action point cost for the rest of the turn that you use it on. Then you'll also maybe want Spur, which does the same thing but for tactical skills, so like buffs and stuff, or particularly for using zip lines and jump and leaping and jumping. Those two will only last for one turn though, so you need to use them on the turn that you're going to be using most of your action points to kill. The turn before, like the first turn for example, that's when you want to be using all your consumables that last for the entire battle. So Roid Stim is one that you can get. There's also Wild Snake. So Roid Stim, I can't remember what Roid Stim does. I think it gives you more melee penetration and crit or something like that, or damage. Maybe it gives you more damage, I'm not sure. Wild Snake and Second Best both give you melee precision and melee damage. So I think Wild Snake gives you 30% melee damage. So that's, it's quite a solid buff. Then there's Slort that gives you -50 AP for rank 1, but if you get a rank 5, it gives you -70 AP cost. So Slort, you want to wait till your main attack round, but Second Best, this lasts to the end of the battle. You can use that the round before. There's also Roid Stim, which lasts to the end of battle. There's a lot of consumables you can use. Basically, just get every consumable you can get, and all of the ones that last to the end of battle, you drink them all in the first round, and then you want to you want to buff this character as much as you possibly can. So ideally you want to have a leader. This is another good thing about Escher. Escher have this particular leader skill, Order of Fire at Will. So this leader can put 2 stacks of this onto the drug-fueled combat monster character, and that will make their first shoot action cost -20 AP. You can put up to 3 stacks on one person, but since she's only got a pistol, she only needs 2 stacks because the pistol only costs 15 AP anyway. Excuse me. Although I suppose you could put 2 pistols on her, but it wouldn't really be that helpful. Anyway, so you put put that on her, gives her a free shoot action. Then she can also use the Order attack skill, which gives +10 AP to the combat monster. And there's also another order that gives you +10 movement points. So she can put all of those skills on turn 1, and then she can also have the combat monster character standing in her shifty ruse aura, which will give her 15 extra action points per round. Now then, excuse me. Then the combat monster character Also, Heroic Rally, because there's going to be a lot of exertion used in this build. If for some reason you don't kill the whole team in one turn, you might want to clear out some exertion. So Rally gets rid of the any debuffs. So when your combat monster's finished doing their thing, they're going to have exertion debuff, and they're probably going to have some debuffs from all the consumables that they've taken as well. So this will kind of clear that out. But it's really not meant to be a multiple turn thing. It's meant to be just a kind of first and second turn, kill as many as you can, glass cannon type of build. But yeah, so just to give you the like rough scenario of how it might go, basically this character goes last on the first round. So on the first round, your leader on one of the previous activations is going to move near to this character, so they're inside their aura, gives them plus 15 AP at the start of next round. And then they're going to cast all of those orders on her to give her the extra AP and so forth, and free shoot action. And then when it's this character's turn, they're going to use all of their consumables that last for the whole battle. So, and just to give you an idea of how many AP, so on the first turn, you start off with 50 AP that you regen and 50 movement points. Then because she's got rear guard, she gets an extra 15 action points, so she's got 65 on the first turn. And then she's going to use Exertion, which gives another 15 AP and 15 movement points. So she's going to have 80 action points and 65 movement points. This is on the first turn. And then she's going to use, maybe use 20 of those action points to use consumables. So remember, because of the house perk, her consumables only cost 5 AP. So these are the consumables that last for the whole battle. So then she's still got 60 AP after she's used all those consumables. And then she, then she is going to run towards the enemy, shoot one of them with her pistol, which doesn't cost any AP because she's got the buff from the leader, the fire at will buff. So she's still got 60 AP and she's just fired a pistol shot. Then because of gunpoint affinity, her next melee attack is going to be 65% reduced cost. So what she'll do is she'll spend 5 AP to switch the pistol out for another melee weapon. So now she's got 55 AP. And then she'll get into melee combat, and then she'll use use this skill, which normally costs 40 action points, but because she's got the minus 65% reduction from this, it'll only cost about 13 action points or something like that. So she'll so yes, out of her 55, then she'll still have 40 action points left or something like that. And then she'll probably kill that first character with that chain hit, because that's 2 attacks with each of her 2 weapons. And remember, she's got plus 30% damage from taking the Roid Stim and Wild Snake and everything. She might have even more damage. These other skills just kind of give her more accuracy and a bit more crit and stuff like that. But yeah, most characters she's quite likely to kill in the first turn. Or ideally, you will have used your Saboteur earlier to go out and null nade most of the enemies so that they've been stripped of any debuffs, so they don't have a high amount of hit resistance and everything. But even if you can't do that, she's going to have pretty good melee penetration because of all of her consumables that she's taken and everything. So it's not necessarily necessary. And she's still got 40 action points left. So then she can just run up to another character and hit them again with another one-handed hit maybe, or just shoot somebody with a pistol or something like that. Anyway, and then as long as she saves the last 20 action points that she's got left, she probably hasn't needed to use all of her movement points as well, so she can potentially do an entrench and get another 20 action points. So yeah, she could probably pretty easily kill 2 characters in the first round. Then just save 20 action points and use any movement that she's got left over to get into a good position. And then with the last 20 action points of the round, she's going to cast Delay. And then that's going to give her 15 extra movement points and action points on the following round. So then the following round, she'll have another. What will she have? She'll have another 50. And you can possibly save 10 AP as well if you've got any left. But assuming she didn't save any AP, you'd have 50 plus 15, 65 plus the 15 from there, so 80. Plus, then now you cast from here, 80. So then you cast Exertion, so that gives you 95 action points. If you can if you can if you can run back into the leader's aura and then start in the leader's aura again, you could potentially have another 15 on top of that. But we'll just say you got 95. So then second round, and then because she used delay, this gives you plus 50 to initiative. So basically you activate last on the first round, kill like 2 guys out of the enemy team. Then you can use delay, gives you plus 50 initiative, and then you activate her first activation of the next round. So she's likely going to beat whichever character they choose, she's likely going to beat their initiative because she's got the plus 50. So then, so you start the second round with 95 action points and 80 movement points, because you've got your normal 50, plus you got the 15 from delay from last round, plus you got another 15 from exertion. So you got 85 movement points. Then you use Slort, but because of the house perk, it only costs 5 AP, and then you use Spur, and that only costs 5 AP as well. So then you're down to 85 action points. But now that you've done Slort and Spur, if you've got rank 5 ones, all of your tactical and your offensive skills cost only 30% of their normal cost. So your 85 action points essentially turns into 255 action points. And you've still got 85 action points to move around the battlefield as well. And any zip lines, if you use Spur, any zip lines you use are only going to cost like 2 action points. So you can basically just zip line and run around all over the map and just, kill everything like an Eversaw assassin. But yeah, so the second round, you've got your 85 action points, but like shooting with the pistols only kind of costs like 5 AP. If you switch weapons, normally costs 5 AP, but because you've got the Spur on, it's only 30% of the cost, so it's going to be like 1 AP to switch weapons. So you can like switch weapons to a pistol, shoot your pistol to get your gun point affinity up. So that'll cost like 1 point to switch weapons, 5 points to shoot, so 6 AP. And then you get your chain hit, but your chain hit's now completely free because you get the minus 65 from this plus minus 70 from Slot, so it doesn't cost you anything. And you can basically just keep doing that, so you can just keep shooting, switch back to your pistol. It's sort of, so it costs you 1 AP to switch to your pistol or 2, then you shoot your pistol for like 5 AP, then you switch back to your melee weapon for another 1 or 2, so that whole operation maybe costs you 5 to 9 AP, and then you do a free chain hit because it's doesn't cost anything because it's got the reduced cost from this minus 65 plus your slot, it's got minus 70, so it's just 0. And then you do this, which would normally cost 40 AP, but it doesn't cost anything. Or you could not worry about switching back to the pistol, and you could just do these, just do the chain hits by themselves. But the 40 AP will be reduced by the slot to only like 13 AP. So you get like, if you do the switching back and forth thing, that'll be slightly more efficient because you'll get the chain hit plus a pistol shot at some other person that's like floating around, and the whole deal will only cost you like 9 action points. Whereas if you just chain hit after chain hit, it'll cost you about 13 action points per chain hit. So so switching back and forth is better if you've got slot and spur on, because slot makes all your shooting and your attacks really cheap, and spur makes all of your like tactical things like switching weapons and stuff like that. Oh, actually, it might not reduce switch weapons. Not sure about that, actually. Yeah, so it might be better to just chain hit. But anyway, you get the gist of it. Basically, you effectively got like 255 effective action points to do combat, and you can just run around and smash everyone like a drug-fueled combat monster. And let's just look at those eyes again. Yeah, those eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed that build. I hope that kind of all made sense. Actually, I was just going to quickly say as well. As I said, you can do this with any race, with any house and any class. These other skills are all just whatever you want. I chose like hit and run and charge on this character just in case you run out of movement. You can try and use charge to get a bit of extra movement, but you probably don't even really need it. And also charge quite often, and you can't. I don't usually bother taking charge on my brawlers because you can't. You quite often can't get it to fire. It's very finicky when it will actually let you do it. I'll just quickly cover a couple of things I wanted to say about the other classes. So if you want to do a lay mechanic's also quite good at, because of the gunpoint affinity thing, because they've got, if you don't want to switch weapons back and forth, like if you weren't doing the drug fueled part, if you were just doing the delay, exertion, rear guard, then you can do gunpoint affinity, fire your pistol shot for 15 AP, And then the minus 65 AP cost of your offensive skills. Then just use Hydraulic Slam with your offhand weapon, and that'll give you a nice double hit because it does plus 100% damage, extra penetration and everything. But you don't have to switch weapons because you can just do it with one hand. So you can just kind of like kill people and then shoot some more people and get the gunpoint affinity back again, etc. So that was just one thing that's cool about the lane mechanic. Also, you can pop down the pheromone canister, and if you take one of the skills, the passives, that gives you a cheap build, you can sort of like throw down barriers and stuff. As you're running around like a crazed drug-fueled assassin, you can be throwing down walls and stuff as well, because if you've got the spur one's the one that gives you the tactical skills really cheap. So your walls, instead of costing 15, your walls will cost like 5 AP if you've got level 5 spur. And the other one I was just going to say was the Deadeye. The Deadeye doesn't really have anything that particularly makes it really good not on Escher, but that's the only thing that might slow down this character build is if they're in a position where you can't get to them, like if they're on a platform that doesn't have any zip lines to it or something like that. So the Deadeye, you can basically do the whole drug-fueled assassin with them, still with the same delay, exertion, rear guard, and then whatever other skills you want, but nobody will be able to escape from you because you can you can use Ascension to get them wherever they are, and because of the spur giving you 70% reduction in tactical skills, your Ascensions only cost 5 AP, so you can just whiz all over the battlefield. And this one's even more like, probably the amount of damage that you can get out of this build is so high that you don't even need to use a brawler with their brawler skills, so maybe the Deadeye is actually better because of their superior mobility. But anyway, yeah, so pretty crazy build, lots of killing potential. It does require some setup. If you get sabbed the turn before, if they get you get null naded and lose all your buffs, that kind of sucks a little bit, but it doesn't really stop you, like as long as you because the main thing is when you use that slot on the second round to give you that 70% reduction, and they don't have an opportunity to debuff you in between when you use that and when you kill all of their team. The other thing I was going to say as well, just a little note: if you do exhibition matches in multiplayer or against the computer, there's no lasting consequences. So you don't use up all your consumables and stuff like that. So you can just kind of keep doing this strategy. Whereas if you're playing contests or if you're playing PvE, once you've used your slots and everything, you have to go and farm to get some new ones. So you won't be able to do this the full drug fueled version every time. But even without the drug fueled thing, just the delay exertion rear guard is quite powerful. Like you just have this glass cannon, they just hide somewhere off where they can't be seen, and then they use this combination to get a lot of action points, and especially if you get the leader to buff them with order skills and everything as well, and then they just run around and everyone. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much, I think that's definitely everything I wanted to say now. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy that build. I'm going to play a bit of it tonight, and it should be pretty fun.